Hey, welcome to a weekly reading vlog. I don't even remember when the last time I did a reading vlog was, but I kind of just want to do a realistic what I read in a week and just do some mood reads because it is the last week of September now. I haven't really had a good reading month so far, so I want to just mood read books that I think I would love just to maybe have a good end to the month. So I am currently reading Flawless. I started this last night, as you saw. I usually only read at night. If it's during the day, I just feel like I should be doing something else. So I'm always in the mood to read at night, and I usually start books at night, finish books at night, just because it's so relaxing to me to get ready for bed and then just lay in bed and read until I get tired. So I did start Flawless last night. I read 70, I'm on page 77 now, chapter 7, and I just wanted to share my thoughts on this book. I wrote some down. I will say this was a highly anticipated read for me, so I'm happy that I'm finally getting into this series. I do like it so far, I will say. So I have like, you probably can't even see this, but just some little bullet points that I was thinking of when I started reading this. I don't have anything I dislike about this book yet. I've loved everything. I don't want to say like loved, but I'm enjoying everything. I haven't hit a part where I'm like iffy about it, so I mean, we're still in the beginning, but I think it's gonna be good. First thought I wrote down was that this guy really hates milk. Which is so random, but that's what I'm getting from Rhett, is that he does not like milk. But yeah, this is super fast paced, and I always love that, especially with a romance, because I feel like a lot of romances you don't go too far in depth to the story unless it's like a really like hard-hitting, like, I don't want to say problematic, but if there's a lot of personal or like mental issues with a romance, then it gets deep. If it's like a light-hearted romance, I just like it to be fast paced because there's not really a reason for it to be slow, you know what I mean? I think I only read for an hour last night and I got through a decent chunk. From the beginning, the story kicks right off, and it was that feeling that you get when you read a book and you just want to keep reading it because it's just exciting. But these two, we have Rhett and Summer, and Rhett is a professional bull rider. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know what this book is about, but it's a small town romance set in Canada. We have our main guy Rhett, who is the bull rider, professional bull rider, and then Summer is the daughter of Rhett's like advisor, I guess you could say. I don't know if that's a specific word they called him, but his name is Kip. So he is sending Summer, because she is his intern in the company, he is sending her to kind of like babysit Rhett, because from the beginning he had his very problematic complication with a sponsor about milk, pretty much. He is having issues, so Summer's gonna go live with him and just follow him around and kind of shadow him to help his presence in the media and everything, and help him like get back on the right track with his fans and everybody in the real world. They instantly kind of feel like they hate each other or just dislike each other. They're not off to a good start, so it's kind of grumpy from the beginning, which I also enjoyed about this too, because it is grumpy, but you get both of their point of view. So Rhett he comes off as grumpy, but you see his point of view with his family and everything, and you can tell that he's actually a really caring guy, which a lot of romances that I've read in the past, the person's grumpy and they just also don't have anything to bring them to a good point. Like, it's just always grumpy, and then I just don't really like them. But he seems like he's actually a very caring guy, so I do like that. So it's just the grumpiness because they don't really know each other yet, so I'm excited to see how they interact when they do finally start opening up to each other. But yeah, there's good banter already, but not only between our two main characters, but between Rhett and Kip. I really like them too. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far, and I like the setting of this too. I get the feeling, I used to watch HGTV all the time, I'm not gonna lie. I used to want to be like an interior designer, and when the house was getting described, it reminded me of when HGTV, I don't know if they still do this, but they used to do a giveaway every year for this like crazy house in a certain state or whatever. And I remember like my mom would always enter those giveaways, and I would just look at all the pictures of the houses and be like, this is so cool. But it reminds me of one of those. That's super random, but I don't know. I just like where this is set. So I'm liking this so far. I think I'm going to get a huge chunk of this done today just because I want to take a lazy day and just read. But when I do read during the day, it's hard for me to just be at home and read. Like, I want to go somewhere. So I might go to the park and sit in my car and read for a little bit, because I can't really find a good place to read during the day in here. It's like I only want to read at night in my bed. So I need somewhere to go. But I don't know, I'll probably get some of this done here and then maybe go to the park later. Yeah, those are my thoughts so far. That was Monday. I got through 76 pages. I'm only gonna do Monday through Friday because I don't even know if I'm gonna read Friday, but Saturday and Sunday I know that I'm definitely not gonna read because I have a very busy weekend coming up. Sunday maybe, so I'll get through this week, update you as I go, and then probably just update Monday again if I do read on the weekend. But yeah, for now that is where I'm at. Reading Flawless right now. I don't know what I'm going to read next. We'll find that out when I finish this book, and we'll see how much I read. Okay, it is Wednesday already. I can't believe that it's already Wednesday. I am sick. I don't know if I said that I wasn't feeling good yesterday, but I got worse. So if I sound weird, if I look like a mess, you know, sorry. You're just gonna have to deal with it. But I did get halfway through Flawless. A little over halfway through. I'm on page 223. Still loving this. I wanted to finish this last night, but I just got super tired. My body hurt, so I just went to bed. But I did plan on finishing this, and I just didn't. So I'm about to finish it right now. Which, the fact that I'm sick, I obviously can't really do anything else. So this isn't technically like a super realistic weekly reading thing anymore. But I know that if I felt fine, I would have definitely finished this book yesterday because I took the day off yesterday anyway. I didn't do a whole bunch of work. So honestly, I think I'm reading less than I normally would have this week. It's literally already almost 1 o'clock. I woke up super late because last night my body was just fighting off my sickness. Okay, just to touch up, I would say this is kind of slow burn. I didn't know that it was going to be a little bit of a slow burn, but I mean, we're halfway through and still like we haven't really had too much, I guess, like physical interaction between the two. I mean, obviously they're connecting more and they're getting closer to each other and kind of not necessarily opening up, but they're talking more and dealing with each other a little better than they were when they first met. I'm loving that. This is technically also, I guess you could say, like the one of them is famous, which it's kind of like a super niche thing because he's a bull rider, so it's not like he's, you know, like a country singer or something where a whole bunch of people know who he is. So everybody in like the bull riding fandom community will obviously know who he is. So that's why I'm saying like one of them is famous, because it's not a super huge fame or stardom type thing. But usually when any type of that is in a book, I don't really like it because I just don't think it's done well at all. Obviously I don't know what it's like to be famous, but I just feel like it's so unrealistic, and I don't know, I never really liked that trope. But I think since this one is more of like a smaller community and more like of a specific type of fame, if you would consider this the one of them is famous, I think it's done very well. It's one of the best that I've seen. Obviously it's not a crazy fame, but it's still technically there, and I'm really enjoying it actually. Also, the first like almost physical interaction between them two, literally my heart was beating so fast, and I don't know why. Romance books don't affect me in that type of way, but for some reason they were about to kiss and I was like, I don't know if it's because I didn't feel good and I couldn't really breathe. Am I right? Like that's why that was happening, but I was like nervous. And it happened again when there was another interaction, so I don't know, but I'm just saying it's kind of affecting me. And I do want to share a quote. It was so cute. And it says, "A smattering of freckles over the bridge of her nose and the apples of her cheeks. I wonder if they show up on any other parts of her body." Which, like, I think that's so cute. I love in the books where they just notice things about each other. I don't remember what book it was, but I think there was a book that I read and it was like she has a mole on her left thigh or whatever. And it's so specific, but I just love it so much. So that just, I enjoyed it. The last thing for this update that I will say is that I think it's a really good romance. It's not cringy. It's not like a cartoony feel type of romance. Like this genuinely seems like it could be a real story between a couple in real life, because a lot of romances, I don't know, I just feel like it's obviously, you know, fictional and it's not true, but it's hard to picture the romance actually happening in real life in other books. But this book, it's just, everything is done so well and I'm really appreciating that, and I can just like see a real scenario with this happening, which maybe that wouldn't be for you because you want something like super fictional and non-realistic because you're reading a book, but I just am really enjoying it. I think reading a romance book, I kind of want something more realistic, but obviously like if I read a fantasy, you know, like I want it to be completely out of this world fake. I think this book is like 430 some pages. I have like 200 pages to go, and I'm just gonna try to finish this right now, and then I will come back, give you my updates on my final thoughts of the book, and then we'll pick out our next read. I just want to say, I don't know who the other books are about, but I really hope there's a book about her friend in here. Her name's Willa, because I really like her, so I'm hoping one of the books in the rest of the series has her in it. If not, I'm gonna be upset. I'm getting my hopes up. Okay, I have like 100 pages left, or less than 100 pages. Don't have too many updates. I'm feeling the same way as I did before. I do just have to say that I hate her sister and her ex, but I hate her sister even more. Because the things she just did, ugh. Anyway, yeah, I just had to say that. Okay, I'm back. Literally the next page I just read. What the heck just happened? I wish I could say, but like I don't want to spoil it, but I'm like, anyway, it has to do with the two people I was just talking about. I literally turned the camera off, read a page and a half, and then freaked out. Yeah, it's getting juicy now. I sound so bad. This is such a mess. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm like freaking sweating buckets, but I just finished. Loved it. I would compare it to Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I love that book. That's like one of my all-time favorite books, and this definitely gives the same small town vibes. The characters are also fantastic in this. I will say that comparing it to Things We Never Got Over, I did like Things We Never Got Over more. It just gave me more like feelings, I guess, but this is still a 5-star read to me. I absolutely love this. I can't say a single bad thing about it, and I enjoyed every second of it. But I do think that honestly this whole series will probably be maybe the best romance series I've read. I have to know who the next book is about, by the way. Let me just look that up real quick. It's Cade's book. I didn't really like Cade, but we'll see. I liked him towards the end. The rest of the book you kind of get the feeling that he's not really a lovable character, but there's something that happens towards the end of the book that you really appreciate him for. I don't know who the girl is in Heartless, but I don't know if she's like a new character we're meeting, so we just know Cade. Did I write any more notes down? I don't think I did. Oh, okay, I did have like one more note that I wrote down, and I feel like this book does have like a lot of tropes kind of thrown into it, but they're not over the top, like in your face tropes. They did have like the one bed trope in this, and she was kind of on like the little tour with him as he's doing his competitions and everything. So it's technically forced proximity too, but it's not one of those tropes where it just seems like it was forced to be written into the book so you would like the book more if you like those tropes, if that makes any sense. But I just feel like there was a lot of good tropes thrown into this that weren't overpowering. They were very subtle, which made me like it even more. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else but me, but that's how I felt about this book. So I'm giving this a 5 stars. I'm excited to continue the series. But that's all I have to say about this one, I think. Love the characters, love the whole atmosphere of this world and this series. I really enjoyed their relationship too, and their journey, I guess, getting to know each other, their struggles together, everything. I thought it was really well done. So I'm happy that I finally started the series, and I'm going to pick out my next book. I'm like just gonna mood read this week. I'm like staring at my TBR cart right now. I want to start The Naturals. That's like just the book that's jumping out at me, and I am looking at my TBR cart and it's like no other book is working right now. I could obviously continue the Chestnut Spring series, but I want to space it out a little bit. I think I might start The Naturals. The only thing is, if I absolutely love that book, I'm afraid that I'm gonna want to go get the second book right away, and I don't necessarily want to spend money on books for a little bit at least. But I think I'm still gonna start The Naturals tonight and just hope that I don't need the second book immediately. Yeah, we'll start The Naturals, but it is currently 3:40. I think I'm gonna just go to the park in a little bit, get out of my stuffy room, kind of get some fresh air. It's pretty gloomy outside, but it's perfect fall weather. Go to the park, and then later when I'm winding down and everything, I'll probably start the naturals. As of right now, we finished a whole entire book, which is good. I do feel like I'm probably gonna read the naturals pretty fast, and then maybe I'll finish another book after that. We'll find out. I'll see you when I start the naturals. What's up, guys? Your hot mess is back, and not better than ever. I woke up, I thought I was 100% fine, and then I got out of bed a couple minutes later, and my nose just stuffed up. So I don't have a fever anymore, though. I don't have like chills or anything, but I'm just so sick of being in my room. Like, I just want to go somewhere else. I want to read somewhere else. But I did start the naturals last night. I only read 30 pages, so I couldn't really give an update on how I was feeling. But I'm now on page 115, chapter 15. We're like a third, well, we're a little over a third of the way through. This book is only like 308 pages, so it's super short. This is a lot more fast-paced than Flawless was, so I can fly through this, probably finish this today. I'm enjoying it so far. It's interesting. I like the whole like FBI situation. Our main character, she can basically just look at someone and figure out a lot about their life and who they are as a person. She's just really good at reading people, and it's interesting to see her like thought process and stuff as she's doing it. We're at the point where she is with the other teenagers now, so we're getting them. I do like them. I liked characters so far in the story, and yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say right now, because the fact it is really fast paced, so I feel like once it picks up, like a lot is going to happen. There's going to be a lot of action, but as of right now, we're still just kind of getting started. It is a short book, so I'm curious to see how much actually happens in this book. I still don't really know what exactly is going to happen, because I honestly like didn't read the back too much, so I don't know if something specific is supposed to happen or if we're just flowing, just vibing. It's now Thursday. I'm probably going to finish that and then start the next book tomorrow. Okay, I'll probably just update when I'm done, or tomorrow. I don't know. You're probably not going to get much from me today, but that's okay. Okay, see you later, alligators. Okay, I just got to part 3 and it's getting a little creepy. The last page I just read is like really gonna kick off everything. It's about to get juicy. That's all I have to say. That is that I'm excited now for the rest of this book. It's about to go down. I'm almost done though. I only have like 108 pages left. Hey guys, it's Friday. Can you believe I'm not in my room anymore? Wow, I know. I'm feeling a lot better. I still sound bad, but I got the energy back. I moved rooms. We're doing okay. Yesterday, I finished the naturals, and then I did start A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed, and I got through 47 pages of this. I have a little bit to say about that, but let me talk about the naturals first. This book, I ended up giving this a 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was super fast-paced, even faster-paced than Flawless, so I flew through this. So if you don't know what this is about yet, this is about this teenager named Cassie. She has I think I already explained this, actually, but I don't really remember. But anyway, she can read people really well. The FBI seeks her out right at the beginning of the book, and she goes to this, I guess just this house with these 4 other teenagers who are really good at certain things, and she's basically working with the FBI, which is kind of crazy that she's a teenager. She's 17 and she's like working with the FBI now, kind of. I don't know, I guess it's not technically a real job. It's a little weird. She's honestly really there for her mother, because her mother was murdered, I think 4 or 5 years previous to when this takes place, and she really just wants answers. So she thinks that going to this place and working with the FBI, maybe she can find her mother's case and get more answers to what happened. It's a very gripping story. You don't want to put it down. It's very fast-paced, like I said. It was only 308 pages, so I did feel like it was super short and not a lot happened, but you don't get any filler. So if you're looking for something that you can just read super fast, this is the perfect book and probably the perfect series, because you can just pick it up, read it, things happen back to back and throughout the whole story.
So it's just very continuous, easy flowing read. The only thing I can really say that I didn't really like was that I do think it was kind of weird for a YA. Well, not weird for a YA, but I think it was weird that the 5 teenagers were teenagers and they were so young, because it's like, why are they all around the same age? I feel like we should have got a little bit of age fluctuation. Like our main character Cassie could have been 17, but I feel like the other 4 should have been a different age range. I think it would have add a little bit to it, because it does just seem a little unrealistic that they're all teenagers. So that was one thing. And the other thing, there was a sprinkle of romance in here, which just kind of threw me off. Like, I do like romance in books, and I like when it's not a romance book and there's romance thrown in there, but this book just felt like it was so out of place for some reason. And I feel like it was just thrown in there because they're teenagers and they're gonna be around each other, and just for like a little extra pizzazz, I guess. I don't know, the romance just felt so weird, and there was only a few instances where it happened. And there was one, I think like the second time it popped up, something happened and I was just like, why is this happening right now? It just seems so out of place. So those are my only complaints, but I did enjoy this, and now, of course, I want to go pick up the second book. The last thing I want to say is the end, I feel like it happened pretty fast. Obviously, the whole book was fast-paced, but the end we were finally getting to a good point, and it was like really juicing up in the story. But then I feel like the end just happened, and like we found things out. Like we were at the point where they're going somewhere and they're doing something. So it's like, okay, the end is coming, gonna start happening. But then it did just like get thrown in your face, and it happened. I feel like there should have been a little more there. The ending wasn't, I mean, obviously the ending was crazy. It was very plot twisty, but I do think that it just happened quite quickly, and I would have liked it to have been slowed down a little bit. Maybe had some more of a variation thrown in there. That's it. That's all I wanted to add. Okay, moving on to A Study in Drowning. I said I read 47 pages of this. This is about this girl who is in an architectural college, and she has these like nightmares about this fairy king, and she's had them for a while growing up. The author of this epic that she absolutely loves he's recently passed, and there's this mansion that they're doing like a contest to where these students can redesign this mansion, and of course she's all for it because it's the author's mansion. So she goes for it and she does get accepted. It's just her journey through that. This definitely is giving the spooky vibes. I was kind of spooked out a little bit last night because of her going to this house, and there was a weird thing that happened, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be an interesting book. It's gonna be a little creepy. Also, I had a really random thought and I did write this down. You know, like when you're watching a TV show, I'll say The Vampire Diaries, for example, or even Harry Potter. You know how it's so dark, like you can't watch those shows in the daytime if the sun's coming through your window because you can't see anything? The descriptions of this book is just giving me that vibe. Like if this was a show, or if I was actually able to visualize this in my mind, I'd only have to do it at night because I wouldn't be able to see it. That's so random, but that's like the vibes it's giving with the descriptions and everything. It's good writing so far. I really enjoy the writing and everything, and I'm excited to see where this goes. But that's all I have to say about this right now because I'm still at the beginning. I don't know how much I'm going to get done today because I do have things to do finally, and I don't know how much I'm going to read this weekend, so honestly I might not update until Monday after this week is over. I will see you eventually.
Hello, it is now the next week. I have finished my reading for last week, and I can't believe how good of a reading week I had. Before I get into any conclusions or anything with the whole week, I want to talk more about my last book that I read, which was A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. I said I didn't know if I was going to read over the weekend, but I actually did. I started this book, I want to say Thursday night, read only 40 some pages, and then I updated you guys after that, and then I did read Friday. I think I got to about almost 200 pages, and then I finished the book on Saturday, which is crazy because that was like my busiest day, and I had to finish this book. I couldn't not read it. I didn't read anything on Sunday. So just to continue my thoughts on this book, I don't really remember what I said towards the beginning. I don't think I said much because I had just started. This is one of my all-time new favorite books, and I easily gave this a 5 stars. This was so well written, and the story just kept building on itself in such a crazy, intense way. It was so perfect, and I loved it. Don't know where it left off when I was reading, but she goes to this estate, and she meets this other student there that goes to the same college as her, but he is a part of the literature college, and he's actually there because he thinks that the author, Emrys Mirrodin, he thinks there's something going on. Him and Effie end up forming this sort of alliance, and they kind of are working on this whole questionable mystery plot together, and it's done really well. Obviously there's so much more that goes on that I can't say because it's a spoiler, and I think that you should just go in without knowing a whole lot about this book. There's just so much that happens that connects so well, and you're kind of taken down a path that you weren't expecting, but it just turns out fantastic and it's worth it. So I highly recommend this book if you're into any sort of fantasy. It's very like folklore type. There's just like secrets about the place that they're in. It's very spooky. The atmosphere that the writing gives off is just, it's creepy, but it fits the book and the story so well. I just highly recommend this book. I think it was amazing, and I want to get the Owl Crate version of this when they release that month's box to purchase. I didn't know they did that, but I saw that version. Illumicrate, I know they have a version too, but I don't think you can purchase that on their website, and I don't want to pay like $100 from someone selling it. I'm hoping I can get my hands on the Owl Crate one if they release September's box, because I would really love another edition of this. That is A Study in Drowning. Easy 5 stars. Highly recommend. And that was my final read of the week. So I did finish 3 books. Flawless, The Naturals, and A Study in Drowning. Flawless was a 5-star read. The Naturals was a 4-star read. 5 stars. I will say that I would like to read 3 books a week on average, and I feel like I can usually get that done. That's what I do sometimes. I mostly finish 2 books a week, but with this being such a good reading week with books that I loved, it was easy for me to get through 3. Monday I read 76 pages. Tuesday we read 147. Wednesday we finished Flawless with 211 pages, and then I read 30 pages of The Naturals. And then Thursday I read 277 pages of The Naturals, finished that book, and then started A Study in Drowning and read 47 pages of that. Friday I read 135 pages, and then Saturday we finished A Study in Drowning with 194 pages. In total we read 970 pages, which is honestly really good, and I'm proud of myself. I had just a good time, and I'm glad that I was doing a little bit of mood reading, because I feel like the past few weeks I didn't really do a lot of mood reading, but these 3 books I totally just looked at my TBR cart, saw which ones were sticking out to me, and I decided to pick those ones up, and obviously it was a success. That word's hard to say. Anyway, I will say that I guess that wraps it up for this video. Thank you for tagging along with me. Sorry I was sick and sounded probably terrible this whole time. I'm kind of like scared to look back on the footage, but it's okay. We're better now and we're feeling good. I really enjoyed doing this. I would like to do more what I read in a week with mood reading and everything. If you enjoyed it, want to stick around, see more, subscribe and stay with me on my reading journey. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, whatever that may be. See ya.